Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It is my absolute honor and pleasure to talk to you via this medium and also on Clubhouse. I am in Oxford right now. I have been fascinated by the conversation so far and absolutely inspired by the ventures that are presented. It is my honor to be a mentor to this network, and I look forward to sharing some insights. I've had the pleasure in my journey to work inside large companies. I've had the pleasure of helping to run large companies. I've also had the pleasure of being an investor at Vantage, which is was one of the biggest clean tech investors in Silicon Valley. And also now invest with my own money and mentor a lot of startups here in Oxford Foundry. And one of the challenges, of course, is how to kind of distill some key insights for you all, so that you can learn from my experience and I can help you share some of those experiences in a very short period of time. And what I've decided to pick on is one of the key things you're all going to face is how do you become investable? And what I mean by investable is somebody makes a bet on you, right? And somebody will make a bet on you when you come out of the accelerator and you're looking for your first round, second round. Investors like me, others will want to invest money in you. But on top of that, what people do when they invest in you, they're investing their time and they're investing their reputation. So they're putting a lot of emphasis on how they can help you and move things forward. So in order to do that, what are the key things that makes you investable? And from my journey, it's about people. There are many, many things that you will learn about your venture. And I think you're in probably one of the best incubators in the world based on my understanding what William and the entire team are doing there. They'll create platforms for you, they'll help you get to other businesses, and they'll do all that. But the one thing you control, you and your team control, is who you are as people and how you behave. And I think the previous speaker mentioned some of those things, but I'm going to emphasize some general points that I've seen. The most investable people, there are a few points. Number one, the most investable people create waves and movements. People follow them. Now, it's not necessarily one person or two people in the venture that's necessarily doing that. The entire team becomes, with different skills that different people have, like they become a place where other people want to follow you. So, and they engage other people. So it's very clear when I'm looking to invest my time with somebody, I'm asking myself, and many people are asking themselves, whether you're working with a large company or you're an entrepreneur, and you'll be working with large companies as you do partnerships, because one of your partners might be a large company or an executive in a large company. Why would they bet on you? Well, they will bet on you because they are okay to put their reputation with you, right? So what they'll be looking to is, do other people follow these people? Are they a loner? Are they a venture that's just going to be on their own? So number one, you have followership. And I don't mean social media followership. I mean respect and credibility from other people and how you behave with other people. And people will watch you do that. They'll watch you do that on video. They'll watch you do that on audio. They'll watch you do that. And so what you've got to do is you've got to make sure that you understand how you come across and how people are following you. The second thing that people are looking for is how fast you learn. And how fast you learn, I can tell in one meeting. I can tell in 3 interactions. So for example, if I share or somebody shares with you an insight, very quickly, you could process that information. I can say, oh, the biggest market in the world is this, XYZ, and I think your product will disrupt a startup that I know in the UK. And very quickly, you can tell how people respond to that. Firstly, they listen. They're not talking over you, they listen. And once they've listened, they ask you a question back. The entrepreneur will ask you a question back. And that question that they ask you back is going to be crucial for an investor to understand if that person is learning. And if that question is all about the selfishness of what that one person is trying to learn versus what generally they're trying to learn about the space on the venture, that tells an investor that this person is going to learn. And when they make a mistake, they will move forward and they will learn. The other thing that goes with that speed of learning is also humility. So the ability to say, you know what, I was wrong. The first thing, my assumption was wrong. The best pitches I've seen, whether it was inside Best Buy when we had our own venture firm there, or externally, the best pitches from anyone, even an employee coming forward, is when they say, you know what, I did the following things and I learned that this was wrong. And straight away, they become more investable. The other thing that goes under speed of learning is vulnerability. They're very, very vulnerable. They show their vulnerability. They might come on a presentation and say, you know, this may not be a slick presentation. Maybe I'm not good at doing slides, but I'm going to do this. And they show that vulnerability. And when you show vulnerability, somebody wants to be with you and they want to invest in you, not just money, but reputation. Remember, when somebody invests in you, Sequoia Capital invests in you, you know, Bill Gurley invests in you, any investor, William Bean invests in you. They are putting their reputation against you, right? So very, very important that you spend a lot of time understanding as an individual, how do you come across? And whilst this sounds obvious, a lot of entrepreneurs are focused on the venture and they forget that people sometimes don't invest in them because they're afraid that their reputation and their credibility is not going to be further enhanced by working with you. So that speed of learning has a number of components. I'll repeat them again. Acknowledge your failure. Do a lot of experimentation. You show, and I think you guys are brilliant at that in Asia. I'm looking forward to working in Asia a lot again. And I wish I was in Shanghai. It's my favorite city in the world, to be honest. And humility and vulnerability. Another point that's critical is a mission that they share. It should come across through a number of interactions, or at least in the first interaction, that you believe in something. You believe in something big, whatever it is, but it has to be something big, and you are taking a stand. You have an opinion about it. You're not generic. It could be this, it could be this. No, I feel this. I believe this. And it's okay because you're also vulnerable and you have speed of learning. So it won't feel like you are arrogant. If you do it with the humility, you would say, I believe that people will not use a mobile phone in the future. They will communicate with a machine using their mind. I believe that, right? You have, as an example, you have to take a stand. You take that stand and people will want to go in the stand with you. The right investors and the right people will come to you and they'll take the stand with you. So you have to have a mission that you share. And if the mission is doing good in the world, even more so that it has to be believable, that you care about it through some of the other activities that you are doing. Also, this is more to do with you. Be selective. If you are confident, be selective on who you want to invest with. Your reputation counts too. Don't just go for anyone because they offer you money. Money is not the only thing you need if you're thinking big and you're trying to move to the next level and you're going to be a unicorn. I'm sure that out of the group that is there, there'll be at least one unicorn coming out. I'm pretty sure based on what I've heard. So in order to do that, make sure you decide who you invest in, right? Using the same principles. And the last thing that I'd say, that people bet on optimists. People don't bet on pessimists. I have never seen anyone truly bet on a pessimist, right? And so quite often, yeah, because you're looking at the world and you're looking at the challenges in the world and you're working all those things, you will be talking about those challenges. But in the end, you have to be an optimist. You have to be somebody that knows. The previous speaker also just said, it's going to be good. US, UK, and China relationships are going to be good for entrepreneurs. You have to believe it. And if you believe it and you're an optimist, which I am, then people will invest in you and people want to work with you. So I'm going to repeat very quickly. This is about you as a person and your team as people. And you have to, number one, create people who are investable, create waves and movements. They create movements, right? People follow them. Lots of people follow them. And there's a movement or a wave. And you normally see that around people who are investable. right? Their speed of learning is really fast, right? And we know about China's speed, but it's fast. The speed is fast. They acknowledge failure. They experiment like crazy. They have a lot of humility. I made a mistake. I don't know how to do that, but I'm confident. They have vulnerability. They show vulnerability. They are human. They show about their family. They talk about stuff. They are not afraid to talk about things that other people might be able to attack them on. That's what vulnerability is, because they are confident and they become investable. So again, waves and movements, speed of learning, a mission that they share is the third point, a mission that they share, right? They take a stand and they're not generic. And the final thing is they have to be optimists, right? They have to be optimists. So my suggestion to you is have a wonderful evening this evening and be an optimist with everyone around you. Be positive and be optimist. And I think you will have a lot of interest. And what will make you, it'll make you investable, it'll make you credible, and totally, my advice, be human.